Okay, I think I'm broadcasting again.
Oh. Mm-hmm. I just got a notification.
Okay, that came up right that time.
Yay, there you are.
Okay, muted. Pop out the chat.
Hmm.
It's live. Hi, Finch. And Old School Dave. Hello, buddies. Hello, everyone. Yeah, what a title this time, right? Is the Mississippi River the sister river of the Euphrates River in the predictions of this time? And I tried to put together some paragraphs of what I'm talking about on the screen there, and the appropriate part of the record books. I still got to share this to other locations. Kathy's gonna like my thumbnail.
Is it a picture I sent you?
No, but you'll still like it.
Okay. I have a picture you took?
No, it's a stock picture of Mississippi River in one spot.
I don't know if I've taken any pictures of the Mississippi River myself.
I've got 8 of them.
Okay, I removed the song from my playlist that got me a copyright thingy.
Mm.
Oh yeah, that is a nice picture. Oh yeah, I had such a nice sunset on my stream today.
Yeah, I saw it. I saw the footage of it
So
while you were, for quite a while. You could see the red. Yesterday's was good too.
I didn't stream yesterday.
No, but I mean, I was watching it
Oh, I'm sorry.
while I was not streaming, but doing passenger deliveries. It looks like my screen is weird. I guess it's all right. I got maximum. I could have formatted it better. Not going to worry about that now. It's,
Aw, that's too bad.
what?
This one person that had been wanting me to go live wasn't able to make it today, and I forgot that I was.
Oh, yeah, so, yeah, Kathy did a stream all day. Uh, you can check it out on the channel if she wants to put something in the chat right now. It's fine with me. We're trying to, she's trying to build it for us and for all those who
Where
enjoy it.
on building it?
I had my day off today and I enjoyed it. and she had a bunch of experiences with people and business.
But I have to rest my voice because I did a lot of talking. Nobody wants to hear me anymore.
So I wanted to just I was going to kind of just read this um, what I wrote there on the screen because I thought this was pretty significant today when I was going through the YouTube the links that were being presented to me as I was reading different things, and the one that stood out was about the Mississippi River losing its water, and the headline was Mississippi River dropped 47% in 72 hours. Engineers say this shouldn't be possible. And I know, Kathy knew that it's been claimed that it's been dropping for a long time, and I don't doubt that.
Yeah, I thought it was a little bit longer than just a year and a half or so.
But this is saying, yeah, well, this is about a year and a half ago that there's, like, here's what they say about it. From Eruptions Now is the name of the YouTube channel. And it's the Mississippi River is behaving in a way engineers say should be impossible. In just 72 hours, nearly half of its measured flow vanished between monitoring stations.
Now, when is this from?
Well,
Is
it
it
was
from a
January
year?
27th, 26.
But are they reporting it from a year and a half ago?
I don't know. I haven't gotten to enough of that yet. I haven't actually watched the whole thing, but
Well,
it doesn't matter to me if it is reporting from a year and a half ago. It's come to my attention now, and I think it's significant in the T and Do story. So I'll move on with that. Uh, and just so they're saying that this vanishing of flow happened is they don't say it's anything to do with the drought or without an earthquake because they did have a reversal of the flow of the middle of the Mississippi River in the mid 1800s, I think, and was associated with Tecumseh. Tecumseh, I think is the way you spell
T.
Chief Tecumseh.
Yeah, I don't know what you said, but it's Tecumseh. That's what you said, isn't it?
Yeah, I think
Yep,
so.
that is it.
Good. So,
I had to see it in my head.
which when I was writing my book, I studied it, and I saw that it seemed like it wasn't a coincidence that Tecumseh had received a prediction of an earthquake, and he told other tribal members around the eastern United States about it, and it happened. And so they began to look to him as a great leader, and he was negotiating with the European settlers, largely I guess the white European settlers, and their government at the time, because there was war brewing between them, but they also had a certain amount of cooperation between them. And some of the tribal leaders of the greater tribal organizations would go to Washington D.C. and I forgot Sitting Bull I think went and another one or two representatives of the American Indian Nation. but to try to negotiate for things. And they bought Manhattan Island from one of the Indian groups, for you know, and they had trading things that they were doing, and they were treating them pretty badly. I bet most of the time. And but I think they were over a barrel to some degree because those founders, so to speak, had technology they didn't really have. They had those guns and uh, and military and supplies and everything. So they were a force to be reckoned with for the people that had been living in this land before that happened, and their descendants. So anyway, but the Tecumseh, the first way that we spelled the name T was TE. And then Doe at one point said that you could also spell it as TI, and we used TI. And it was interesting, always interesting, that we were living in Texas most of the time when T was in our vehicle, and that's what the Texas Instruments was TI, and Norrody was the head of the documentation department of TI in Dallas. I go by it every once in a while off of LBJ. Yeah, and it's like, and this is where T's ashes were spread, in White Rock Lake, and the White Rock is something that is in the Book of Revelation as that you would be given a white rock. All the ones that became uh, uh, well, I guess separating from their the ways of the human kingdom that had developed to be so evil and killing each other and things like that and justifying it and I'm linking this to other things that I've written about and talked about uh, in these live streams with the way that T and Doe felt like the ancestors who actually, according to the records, were behind the destruction of Jesus and his students, um, uh, um, had become the some of today's Christian leadership, um, either as the designation of false prophets, because a prophet just means somebody that's speaking with the authority of it being the truth related to the kingdom of God. That's generally the idea of what prophecy is. It has to be something that's actually spoken about to the public, provided, that's where the evangelical part comes from, that it was a task to talk about it each time when an older member came and took a human vehicle. And, that, but it's a task that it was a task from the next level's perspective, but from the person receiving it at the time, it's not so much a task, it's just wanting to share their information because of seeing the value of that information. So it's not like, they're people that do want to talk about T and O's and other aspects of separating from the human kingdom world that has become so dominant with the misinformation mind of the lower forces that we see operating through most of the leadership of the countries of the world. Using people, abusing people, and corporations are part of it. not all the time, and it's not all bad. There's, there's factions or parts of uh, things that they do that are good and good relative to individuals having what they want and having options for all kinds of gadgets and lifestyles and belief systems and all that is part of what the level above human, the evolutionary kingdom level above human, knew would be coming about and stimulated to come about throughout at least the last 100 years, but probably more like 200 years or three. It's if we try to put definite numbers on it, we're probably going to be wrong. So why try? It doesn't really matter. But it was the end of the age that we're talking about. From a next level perspective, an age is like 1,000 years, or 2,000 years actually. Tiendo felt, and like the age of the Moses time was about 2,000 years before the Jesus time, and 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 then 2,000 years later was the return of the older member and his older member, um, and the student body that had grown, the souls that had grown through all those experiences, having some connection with their minds. And so the ancestors of um, many humans and other countries that don't have that Western ancestry doesn't mean that they're not in part of the school, because they have a different ancestry that has equivalent kinds of lessons to learn. Okay, so nobody's left out of. It's not about race. It's not racial in the ways that some could portray it. Even though it does appear that um, uh, the mixing pot that is the basis of the United States that drew people from all over the world to settle here in this country and Europe as well and other places. But, it's like the racial component of them being white skinned, but they're not really white, but because white really implies pureness, and they're not pure in any shape or form. In fact, they're some of the worst people potentially because the souls needed to have, or no, they needed to have vehicles that would present to them the challenges for the current time period of lesson structures. And like Tiendo said that they helped their students pick vehicles, the student souls we're talking about, before they came and took them over, that would give them the lesson opportunities that they needed in order to grow their minds stronger so that they could graduate to having a crew membership in a next level grown vehicle, physical vehicle, and doing next level tasks as part of a crew. And so that doesn't make uh, um, it's not a measurement. See, the next level has all kinds of colors of vehicles, but they are growing vehicles in the human kingdom that are um, well, different skin tones. Okay, simple as that, really. I mean, but it's also different characteristics, different ethnicities, different like subcultures, or different ways of doing things. But in general, all of the same mammalian kingdom, and and they were teaching to be non-seed bearing because mammals are seed bearing, and you can dissect that to where even the insects are in that way. They're also seed bearing, right? They have eggs and they get fertilized somehow, even if it's by the same vehicle that does both. And, in some cases, right?
They do fertilize each other. Spiders mate, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So that's the whole, that kingdom level of animal is pretty all encompassing, even though there can be exceptions. But as mammalian. But the next level aren't mammals anymore. They don't reproduce. So they don't have, the ability to produce eggs that get fertilized, uh, but yet they can still grow physical bodies that the shape of humans came from. They don't look like us. We look like them. It's kind of a a switch in your mind, to think that way.
Is there anything going on?
Let me see. Baby Yoda F. Fawn says, "Glad to see you doing well. Nice to see you again." Yes, hello to you. And Old School Dave, like the engine. Like the engine. And Baby Yoda says, cool. Like the engine. I'm not sure what that means, Old School Dave. Oh wait, I don't have my screen up there again. If I minimize it, then it goes away. The part where I've written a bunch of stuff.
What?
Um, let's see, where am I? So So what I wrote then about I could be wrong, but the Mississippi River seems like the sister river of the Middle Eastern Euphrates River, and I said that this is evidenced by the Mississippi River being the gateway to the West, shown in St. Louis with the Western United States, the updated geography where the evolutionary kingdom level above humans, older members, in the name Tiendo, took over human-grown bodies to bring the updates from what they brought when they were doing a similar task 2,000 years ago, using the vehicle engineered then to receive the older member's mind, uh, known as Jesus. I know that's a mouthful. I need to learn how to break up my sentences, right? But I still don't. But um, so I was reading this article because there's two of them, and they're by different people. Just happened to be come into my feed, tonight together after I was asking about this, maybe a week or two ago, maybe it was a month, I don't know, because I was asking to see if there was. I was wondering. That's part of my asking sometimes. How certain parts of the record book of the Revelation material might be coming to pass. And so I looked at the section Revelation 16:12, and it says, "And the sixth angel poured out his vial upon the great river Euphrates, and the water thereof was dried up, that the way of the kings of the east might be prepared." I never felt like I understood that, but when I was writing my book and I came upon this verse, which I did, I looked it up, what the Euphrates River, and a number of the words, were in the Greek to see if I could get a better idea of what they were referring to. And it says that the Euphrates is of foreign origin, and which we know that, of course, and that it's only used two times throughout that literature, that material, and that it actually the word Euphrates in Greek means the good and abounding river. And then it goes on to talk about the one that flows through Assyria. At the time, it was called Assyria, which is largely Iran, and Iraq, actually, I think, a combination of them, and Syria, Mesopotamia, and the city of Babylon, which is the Iraq part, and empties into the Gulf of Persia. So, it empties into the Gulf, and that's what the Mississippi River did. Now, why am I just picking the Mississippi River out of a hat? I'm not, really. Because T and Doe said that the Mississippi River, in their minds, separated the area where they felt closest to their older members. Because T had an older member also that Doe recognized, that Doe had also a relationship with. Uh, just the same way that I guess any students now that graduated, or anybody that looks to T and Doe as their older members in whatever way they do, that's like having your father and your grandfather, but without the patriarchal. I'm sorry, I keep on referring to it that way, even though that's an archaic way of talking about it. It's just that's the way that it came to us. And so, of course, the lower forces make everything that the next level does into a negative. And it can have its negativity as well. If people don't outgrow the gender consciousness. And of course, there's a lot of people that don't even know they have gender consciousness that spills out as toxic thinking when they try to lord over people, because they're in a vehicle that was raised with certain behaviors and ways, that can be very abrasive, or very un, uncaring, very lording over, very authoritarian, very certain about themselves, and they're being like superior to people that are in female vehicles, and yet the opposite is probably mostly the case, to where some of the ones that chose female vehicles, are getting the lessons they need as well, and also are presenting to uh, the ones in the male vehicles the challenge of what the ones in the male vehicles have become and are clinging to. And that's the reason that our older member, T, came and took a female vehicle. That's part of the reason for that. So that it could turn that all up on it. And that's when, in the mid 1800s, among the big things that happened during those times, was the women's suffrage movement. That's when it became public, and against the authorities that were so malevolent. I don't think it's an accident that that word male is part of malevolent. I don't know, I might be wrong about that. But we see that being played out
I
now.
think, like, I don't know if you just want, because I have a lot of issues with male, and all that kind of stuff. Like, I've been ranting against men and stuff on my stream here and there. But I think, like, the issue isn't, like, men. Obviously, that's not the issue. Like, it's the programming of men. It's
Yes.
the propagandization of men, specifically in Western culture. I don't, maybe,
Isn't it more than Western culture?
I know that's what I was just trying to think. Like, I'm trying to think back, like, how far this has been going on, where it doesn't have to be one gender is stronger or better than the other, right? It's like men are more powerful, men are stronger, and you're the weaker sex, so that's why we get to dominate you. And it's like, okay,
Which is the animal kind of part of them.
but it's, I believe humans are animals. That's just me.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So
But the
we are,
behaviors are more
like,
domineering.
women are domineering as well. Like, what am I doing all
Yes.
day?
Right, right.
I am dominating. I am trying to control. And so is every other woman on this planet. We're trying to control. That is what every man is trying to do. You're trying to control. So it's not a woman or a man thing, it's a human thing.
Yeah.
It's we just want to be in control because we're not. We're not in control. We're not in control of our environments. We're not in control of this planet. And we want so desperately to be in control. So, like, what does control look like? Let's define everything. Let's make everything something. That's control. Freedom is letting go of all of that. Like, I was listening to I'm Yours by Jason Mraz, I think his name is. I don't know what his name is. But there's a song that says, um, cancel all your plans and damn, you're free.
Hmm.
Like, we don't have to, like, I don't know. It's just so simple. It's so simple that it's overlooked.
Well, yeah, I can see what you're saying. Like cancel all your plans and then you're free. In other
But I
words,
mean,
don't
just
have a preconceived idea about how everything has to go or something.
right. Also, separation from quote unquote God is separation from our world. We want to not be here. How many times have I said, I want to get off the mountain? All these religions will get us to the top of the mountain, but it won't get us off. Why do we want to get off the mountain? Why do we want to get off this planet? This planet is wonderful. It's
It's not the
beautiful.
planet
It's
that's
our
the mountain.
home.
I think the planet's not the mountain, I think, in that
It
illustration.
is, though.
No, I think it's the human kingdom is what they were talking about, not the planet itself. Like Doe said, the planet's a good planet. It's got a lot
Right, but it needs
to
to be
offer.
recycled, and it's
They need to get rid of
everything
the
is
human junk that's
wrong.
been
It's
made to it.
wrong. All the religions say it's wrong here, and we need to get off of here. We need to
Well, the
wait
religions are
till
all
we're
distortions and
dead.
dilutions anyway.
We need to wait till we're dead, and then that's the end. That's where we are alive, is in our death. So
No,
my mantra
I think that's
now,
a distortion.
is I'm living for life. I am not living to die anymore. And our whole patriarchal
I haven't been living
society
to die
is
either.
set up.
A lot of people aren't living to die. It's not a conscious kind of
Every
thing.
single Christian is waiting to die.
No, they're not.
Yes, they are.
Even if they say they are, by
Yes, they
theory,
are.
they are.
Then they don't really believe it.
That's true. I think that's part of what I'm talking about tonight. That they don't really believe it.
We're separated from this world. We are in this world and of this world. In Genesis 1,
No, there's a
Adam,
difference.
or whatever it was, Adam was created from the dirt of this world.
Yes,
And we go back
the
to the
physical
dirt
material,
of
right?
this
The genetics
world.
from this world is all part of that.
this world.
Yes.
But that's my personal, I think Tiendo knew that too.
Yeah. I mean, there's facets to it that you're not talking about right now,
I
I
know, because
believe.
I wasn't there for 19
No,
years.
I'm not saying,
And I
I'm
don't
not saying
understand it
that.
how you understand it.
Right, right, which is, perfectly fine. And I like the way that, we can stimulate different points of view and come to agreements on things that we say differently or think about differently, or because this is a new classroom time, after the older members and the graduate students left. It's and we are going through a lot. It is like a twilight zone out there, for many people, whether they identify it or not. It's crazy what's
It's the
going on.
breaking of the system that needed to be broken.
Right, these systems that were
We just
created
didn't
by
know
the
how it was going to
misinformation
happen.
mind, misinformation mind,
Like
is what
everybody's like,
created these
we're so
systems.
sick of the government. We're so sick of the system here. We're so sick of like everything that's happening and it has been happening. This country was made on the backs of slaves. This country was made on the backs of murder. We murdered all of the people that were here before, and the ones that we didn't murder, we put in little concentration camps called reservations. They're still there to this day, right?
Yeah, but I want to move on to what I'm going to talk about because
It's like a bringing of a whole different system. T and Do talked about that too.
yeah,
Like that is a
it's true.
recycling. The recycling is happening right now.
It's in
And it
progress.
is
Yeah.
starting with the United States of America, just like you've been saying and just like they were saying.
Yeah.
The government is falling.
It's not just the United States, though.
I know, but it's starting. The United States, the democracy of here, democracy is falling right now.
Right. It never was a democracy, actually.
Right. It was a capitalistic society,
Right.
and it's falling right now.
Right. It is falling.
And we'll see if it can teeter back.
It's already fallen, I believe, but it's fallen more than once.
But the people don't know that yet.
No.
They're learning it now.
Well, some do. Some recognize it.
Half of us seem to know, and the other half are still following the orange fucking Cheeto.
Yeah, but I don't know, but that's, to me, that's...
And they want everybody else dead. They want everybody else out of here that
too
doesn't
much
look like them.
generalization and all those
True.
things, in my opinion. But
I had people in my
far too
stream
much.
saying that stuff.
I know. I'm not saying it's not happening. I'm not saying those mindsets don't exist.
And I don't think they're
They
just
do.
robots.
I know
I
they
don't know.
exist.
Maybe they are.
Well, no, I don't think they're robots, except they're human robots. They've got a certain program that convinces them that they've got the truth. They've got the best ways of doing things, or it's better than the other ways of doing things.
Which we've
And
done the same, right?
The other
We've done
ways,
exactly the same.
Yeah, right. And the other ways of doing things that were in control more, a couple of years ago, they were doing all their things, and to say that one side is worse than the other is you really can't measure it that way, because things are progressing. So when the stone is falling off the mountain, it's rolling down the hill, gathering all its material, right? Okay, does it matter that? I mean, is it important to see the exact things that are happening as the epitome of that falling down, when that falling has been happening from whenever it started to fall in earnest? I mean, so that doesn't diminish the fact that it's happening more now, because it's gathering moss.
It matters where it's at in its trajectory down the hill, I suppose.
Yeah, I don't know how much you can play out that analogy, but...
I thought you were going to say something. Does it matter that you're sitting there staring at it and trying to define it, and in the meantime, it's just mowing you fucking down?
Right, I guess.
While you're sitting there staring at it come careening at you, get the hell out of the way.
Right. If you can, then yes, definitely. I mean, there's a real benefit to getting out of the way of it. You don't want to be in the way of that vast amount of negativity relative to what we consider to be goodness. It's very negative. Right, right. When you're in an area that's having all kinds of damage, by nature, then maybe that's a sign of, not living that place. Whether it's leaving California because of the earthquakes, and there's been some recent ones happening, and that's always the case. But if you look around the Ring of Fire and you measure the earthquake activity over the last 20 years, you'll see that there has been increases. Because I used to watch that guy who has that channel where every day he's showing the earthquake activity all over the world that they've recorded. Dutch Sense, yeah. I don't know what he's doing now. Once in a while he does something, but I don't. He was having some trouble because the people from the Geological Society that they really were upset with him. I don't know. Yeah, he was a good provider of really good information about what the Earth was going through, and he covered volcanoes, and there's volcanoes going off. So yes, they've been happening all along. Okay, and you can say, well, we have more detection now, we have more communication, but actually, since 2000, we don't have that much more because there's been a lot of internet coverage around 2000, starting there, starting after Tiendo left, because they were doing things on the internet, and in fact, they were one of the first, you know, uh, big efforts. Anyway, but okay, so the Mississippi River. Let's say Tiendo were correct, and it was representative of the separation of the East from the West. And what do we see in uh, this statement in Revelation 16:12? It says that the water thereof was dried up of the Euphrates River, right? And so because you can actually establish through the record books that we have, the materials that we have, that the Middle East was a center for a lot of difficulties for uh, well, probably 6,000 years, but even like 4,000 years, especially during the wars that were happening with the individuals that became uh, known, the souls that were the overcomers at the time, that were in the desert with Moses going through their lessons at that stage of development, which was, like kind of like the sixth grade in a 12th grade school. And then those souls were saved from those experiences and brought back during the time that it was 11th grade or approaching 12th grade for graduation, and that's seen as the record books in the so-called New Testament, but precisely in the words that actually came from Jesus as opposed, and that's being degraded into nothingness as well. And so there's a war on that material and that mind as well as there's a war, and that's the war of Armageddon and the war for souls. But it's a war for new beings to have new life, to have continuous life instead of temporary life in the human kingdom. And then you can say that, well, the primary life is outside the vehicle, and all these people are living to die, and that's what Kathy was talking about. And she's not wrong about that entirely, because you see that both in the spiritually minded people that are like considered to be the New Age, where some of the paranormalists are saying we're going home when we die. We're going to have freedom for the first time because we're going to be able to go wherever we want and do whatever we want, and we're not encumbered by the vehicle. And yet they don't realize that uh, they're still going to be limited to where they go based on the beliefs that they had before they lost their vehicle. So if the only place they know of outside of um, the locale where they grew up and circulated, let's say it was the United States, okay, where a human, he traveled all around, she traveled all around, or they traveled all around the United States, and they got experience with all different kinds of things. So when they die, then that's what they believed in, everything that they accumulated from that, as it accumulates to make the person the personality that they are, and the pros and the cons, to whatever degree they recognize that or not, is also part of what they get. And so they go outside their vehicle, and then they continue to demonstrate the same things. And they may think that they're in heaven because they're maybe helping humans as a guardian angel, or you know, and the next level might even be encouraging the use of them in that regard, doing what they want to do to give people help from the unseen world when they ask for it. Uh, that is a way that Tiendo taught that the next level provides humans with help that isn't part of their ways of behavior. Like they're not getting married, and they're not giving in marriage, and they're not making babies and raising families, and they're not adhering to certain religious ideas, and having beliefs, and they're not working against one another, or to try to compete for who's got the better religion, or who's got the better belief system, or more money, or better looks, or better gender, or um, better sexual presence and preference, or whatever it is. The next level doesn't have any of that. So when individuals are asking for that and other things that I probably didn't mention, the career goals that people have and things, and the fame and fortune sometimes that they get, when humans are asking for that, the next level uh, wants them to have experience with that. And so uh, they'll automatically be sending them, or they can specifically, if they have their eye on somebody, a soul that's trying to take over a vehicle. So if they've got an eye on certain vehicles that that are showing the signs of thirsting for more of what's true in the ways that can happen, then they they will send us uh, human level influences that can help us give us what we say we want, um, so that we can get lessons from it and learn the positives of it and the negatives, and decide maybe that wasn't something that I really wanted in that form that I thought about it before. And it's actually the road to a greater understanding, or a greater sense of reality, and a deeper connection to the next level, by having gone through things that we knew didn't work because we experienced it. Like, I mean, simple explanations are like you got into alcohol and you had a great time with it, and other substances, and then it became, for some people, it became a difficult addiction that they couldn't conquer, and so they wanted to conquer it, and they did, and now they know they're better off for it. And the same thing with everything in the human kingdom. I think it can be said that there's um, benefit from it, and then there's times when it may lack a benefit, and then it's time to move on from that. But everybody doesn't necessarily move on, and everybody doesn't necessarily stay moved on once they do move on. So Mississippi River. I want to keep on going back to it.
Did you talk about that it was like the dividing line?
Yeah, it was like a dividing line. I'm not saying that the people of the different areas, but it can have its application like that. That there were more people with vehicles that the next level was tagging from the West, but it's not exclusive. So we can't say, oh, well, I'm from the East because my vehicle was from the East. But my vehicle traveled to the West to be, uh, even though I tried to go up into Canada, the West, and it didn't work out. So I ended up in Oregon. I'm just one of the vehicles. There could be many, many, many thousands of vehicles that were also being observed specifically to be the vehicles for returning souls, and they can be anywhere in the world. Um, and but the next level will see to it, or systems will see to it that, or just I don't know how it works exactly, but when you see war-torn areas where there's a lot of refugees coming, then they have a new experience. They go to some new culture or something, and they have new experiences, and uh, those new experiences upset the status quo before it. Because I was thinking about that, like I mean, I know you listen to the right wingers and the left wingers, and you hear the right wingers talking about how Biden and company opened up the borders, and you can think of that as a negative, but at the time when it was happening, I was thinking maybe the next level wanted to give the opportunity for people to come here so that they could have certain more freedoms that maybe they didn't have in those other countries. Because a lot of other countries know that they have very corrupt governments, but don't know how to get out of it. As long as they can still get lots of lessons, but there's certain things that they might not get exposure to unless they're in a place that uh, is more allowing of that exposure to happen. And of course, the negative comes with the positive, and so there's also a detriment to that. And you see that happening all over the Western world with immigration coming from just so happens from the countries that those colonial powers dominated for centuries. They dominated them for centuries. With the English going all over the world and dominating, trying to dominate India and Africa, places in Africa, and well, not places, but South Africa and other countries throughout Africa, and the French were doing the same kind of things, and the Danish were doing the same kind of things, and the Spanish were doing the same kind of things, and so the United States became a place to where all that was happening, but uh, the people that had migrated here were a combination of individuals that, uh, and this is generalization, went uh, against Jesus and his followers, and individuals that, in some way, shape, or form, uh, were going with Jesus and his followers for whatever reason. Okay, so that's why the political world, always goes against new movements of thought because they don't want to upset what they have. They don't want the people to rise up against them. And that's what you see happening now, too, in the United States. The people are rising up against the authoritarians that are largely the descendants of the ones that went against Jesus, and now they look like they're believers in Jesus, but they're only believers in Jesus in the idea of it and certain characteristics, but very limited characteristics because they don't. If you actually look at what they talk about and what they do and what they put their money into, uh, next to none of it resembles anything that Jesus taught. Right, and yet, and so, and, and those said that they were the biggest group of vehicles, minds, because vehicles aren't just vehicles, they're also part of a strain of mind that's invisible and it's frequency based, and it's not, it doesn't have to be glued to a vehicle, but it is, um, it, the different minds, discarnates, they do glue themselves to vehicles. That's what human vehicles are. They're time shared computer systems that, so who are we? We're the decider of what we're going to believe, what we're going to think, what we're going to do, what we're going to say, what we're going to, represent, who we're going to stand for. That's what we are. That's what we each become, whether we know it or not, whether we like it or not. That's what results. By my understanding, and I believe that makes sense to me as true. To the degree that I'm describing it, I might not be doing a good job with it, but I know Doe does a far, I mean, he's an older member of the next level. This was elementary thinking to him.
It's like it's very like low comparison, but I mean, like like Obama's gifted orator.
Oh yeah, in that one way, yeah, yeah. In terms of being able to speak things, and but right, um, and I don't particularly like that
It's not
analogy.
that was the quickest thing that I could think of. Like somebody that speaks well and somebody who does not speak well,
Right, right, right,
regardless of what the messaging is.
right. So it doesn't matter. Nobody has to. I'm not going to be elected for something uh, um, of any kind. I don't think, but and I don't care to be. It's not interesting to me um, to be anything more than one of many vessels that has experience with Tiendo and their teachings, because it's not just a matter of the personal experience of the vehicle. I think that's a significant chunk, but doesn't mean if I didn't retain it, if I didn't get it actually while it was being taught, well then maybe I didn't really get much of it. I only got a tiny percentage, but even a tiny percentage can go a long way, perhaps. In terms of knowing its recognition of its value. But so so I don't know if I did any better to describe some things, but let me move on because um, so if this was the melting pot that Tiendo felt it was, that is evidenced by history, uh, in order to provide full range of vehicles for souls to have the choice of trying to take over, that the spirits within each that are developing within each vehicle have to be of a mind to have a certain amount of programming of what doesn't work in order to be open to the more advanced programming. Like, for instance, the only example I can really use with that is my own experience. I knew in my heart, right from an very early age of even preteen, that there was something about um, my understanding of God and Jesus that I was very attracted to. Okay, but I knew that it wasn't coming through the church, and so I was looking for all kinds of alternatives, to that information, and I got into a certain amount of other alternatives, but even they didn't really float my boat, and I knew that humans weren't supposed to kill other humans. I knew that, and I knew I wasn't going to go to Vietnam, and I knew I was going to be a draft dodger. Sure. I think they're designed to be a part of that cycle.
So then, if humans are animals, wouldn't we?
They're not
What I'm
animals.
getting at is we are designed to kill each other.
No, we're not. No, we're not. It's like is a human because a human has animal characteristics. Does that mean humans are designed to poop in the house on the floor, or go outside the house and poop on the lawn?
We used
Because
to.
animals do that.
We do too.
But is that sanitary for a lot of humans to live in the same place doing that?
My point was that
Humans have the ability to.
Right. Well, but is that an ability though, or is that like a detriment?
No,
I believe it's a detriment.
No, I don't think so. Practical reality would say
Our
otherwise.
thought is practical
Yeah.
reality. Like everything that's practical goes against everything that's magical.
Having sewage systems is a practical reality to health.
If we didn't have so many people, we wouldn't have to have sewage systems.
That's unrelated to how many people there are.
And also, because of what we eat, animals don't have, there are how many deer, and they poop all over the place, and their poop actually grows things. Like the birds, their poop actually grows things. Our poop kills things.
Well, no, not exactly. You can use humans as fertilizer.
If we're consuming good things, or if you do all these things to, my point.
Well, we don't know that the composting can't take care of that.
We're so far removed from our natural environment by all of this programming that we've put into ourselves.
Our natural environment evolves. Are you saying there's no evolution?
No.
Of mind and body?
This is an evolution of mind and body. Getting back to our roots.
So we should be living in a cave with the bear.
No.
And we're going to be happy with that.
That's a simplification of it. That's like a demonization of it. That's when somebody says a UFO came down and abducted me. That's you're crazy for thinking that. It is. Let's make it sound crazy. So it sounds.
I don't have to make it sound crazy. It is to me. Because I don't want to do it.
It sounds crazy to people that somebody came out of the sky and abducted them.
I know, but that makes more sense to me than going that it would be forward thinking
to go back
and behaving to be living like without any civilization.
You're automatically assuming that I'm jumping back to that, but
civilization isn't a negative.
I'm not saying that.
Development of technology isn't a negative.
Has it been a positive?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yes.
What are we doing to each other right now as humans?
Every day you use so much technology that you benefit from, so why would you say that it's not a positive?
Is it a positive?
Of course it's a positive, but it can be used as a negative.
Are you even thinking before you answer that question?
Well, I know it's a positive, but it can be used as a negative. Yes, I know.
You couldn't be wrong.
I know. Practical reality.
You could not be wrong.
No, I could be wrong about that. It's not. It's a positive to have the ability to have technology to help us with having a cleaner environment.
Is it helping us?
And it's helping us. Yes,
a cleaner environment.
Well, it's been degraded.
Is the most polluted it's probably ever
but we don't know what the vehicles can handle in that regard. Okay, vehicles can handle a lot of things, and the solutions to those problems. But now the humans that are in the power.
In the first place, then we wouldn't have to have a solution. So that is
So
that's
that
my
we
thing.
really shouldn't have developed electricity and, you know,
We developed
all
it,
those things are
or
negatives.
we
And
develop it like Nikolai Tesla told us to. We develop it so it's renewable, not so these fucking corporations.
yes, I see
can
what you're
make money
saying.
off of
Okay,
our backs.
you've got
We
to.
have unlimited power in the sun.
There is a value to what you're saying. So
Because these money people.
I know. What I said before was that humans are choosing to use the technology in ways that become negatives. Humans are choosing to use technology in its negative forms and not adhering to, when it's breaking,
You don't think
fixing things.
You don't think drumming is a technology. When I played that podcast to you, you thought it was ridiculous what that guy was saying. Drumming is technology.
I didn't say it was ridiculous.
It is ancient technology. That's magic. You're connecting with the pulse of this planet.
Yeah, but it's insignificant.
But why do you
It's
think
like a moth.
it's
How
not,
the moth affects the wind. No, it's an insignificant when in a.
entire world.
It does not.
Yes, it does.
Hardly.
Just like us breathing
Hardly.
affects.
See, you can't put any science with that. All you can do is just theorize it.
Science.
You're making a mountain out of a molehill. You're making a mountain out of a molehill, I think.
Reducing the mountain to a molehill. Boom!
You're tripping, babe.
No, I'm not. I only took 2 edibles. Shit.
Yeah, right. And Kathy does get into this, and we both get into it all the time. But we love each other, and we stick through it, and we both gain from it, and it's not bad to have this kind of talk. I don't think. I don't mind it. I don't like it necessarily. Well, you're serious. You know,
The last time we got an oil change.
It's like what is this screen that keeps on coming over here?
The last time we got an oil change was in Savannah. I thought we got one here already. Excuse me. Anyhow.
All right, well, let me take a break from yapping and see what's happening in the chat room. Kathy always brings the heat, says Baby Yoda. Yeah, she brings some heat on the subject, that's for sure.
Hang out on my stream when I'm
Baby Yoda says, times have changed too since Jesus, though. Yes, times have changed since Jesus, though. So you can be elected our most valuable player, I guess, talking to Kathy. Yeah.
Sawyer is the most
No. I think, I don't.
We're here to support him.
You know, it's great you have a great dynamic. Yes.
Yeah.
I think we do have a great dynamic.
I think it's really healthy for people to argue intelligibly.
You know, I had the same argument with Donna a number of times.
Oh, Donna.
Our friend
great.
Donna. When I would say something about animals being not as evolved as humans, she would freak out with that because she's a lover of animals like the way that Kathy is.
It's not true.
Right. But I believe it is an evolutionary process. But animals aren't in a lesser grade in school than humans. They're in a different school. They're in a different school, but they have less effect on their environment than we do. Yes, they do. Yes, they do.
Yellowstone.
When have you seen a animal? When have you seen an animal? When have you seen an animal able to help by an animal's choice?
I saw a monkey pull a kitten.
So you won't even a monkey pull a kitten out of the well?
This was before AI. Maybe the monk. Okay, I'm gonna say the probably truth of this video.
I think I heard about that.
Was probably pulling the kitten out to eat it. But
okay.
I don't know know if that's the truth.
Can you imagine a dog training a dog, or any animal training a dog to be a seeing eye dog for a human?
They do that.
Where? Where does a dog train a dog to be a seeing eye dog?
Oh, I thought you said a dog that's trained to be a seeing eye dog.
No.
Well,
They require the human that needs that service to train them. But then they can be more.
but then that dog could go on and show other dogs what it has learned.
Sure. Other dogs could do that.
Can train another dog.
It's not training. It
is though, because that's what
well,
they're
sure,
doing.
sure
I
it
watched
is.
my dog train other
It's
dogs.
a degree of training. You're right. I guess it is.
I watch cats do it.
The influence on them becomes teachings for other animals. So yes, but it took the human to go into the wild.
But we are not the most.
It's not importance relative to the way that you're measuring importance. It's not
kidnap that animal and force our will onto it.
And that's not necessarily a terrible thing. No, it's not. No, it's not. I know, but
you don't want anybody forcing their will on you.
You know,
we can give our will.
Well, I know we can give our will, and we show that when the human goes into the animal kingdom and rounds up some horses from the wild and gives the opportunity of them to become part of the human's family. Some of the horses don't go for it. Some of the horses, by their free will, don't want to be under the thumb of that human. And so they buck and they buck and they buck and they never get broken. But the ones that give into it, they learn that there's some benefits to being in the human family. You know, they get groomed, they get food for free. Yeah, it's a positive, because then they are advancing their minds to seeing more. Why wouldn't it be?
Because that's just accepting.
Well, it just makes sense to me that that's true, that is advancement. But
it's just accepting your prison.
When a human comes to determine that killing another human isn't better behavior, to me that's advancement.
I agree. It is not. We're not to go about killing each other.
Okay,
I'm not saying like that, but it's not better or wrong. Like we've discussed this before. For a lion to take a gazelle and eat it,
I don't think it's wrong.
It's not wrong for
that lion.
It's not wrong for a cat to. Cats kill all kinds of
mice and things. Yeah.
Birds, mice,
right.
lizards.
I don't think that's wrong.
And they don't eat them.
But
they're just killing them.
But if they're
but it's wrong for humans to kill other humans when other species do the exact. Cats kill their own young.
It's not just a different species. It's a whole kingdom level of life that's different. That has different options.
Life is life.
No, it has different options.
But that's where you and I fundamentally differ.
I mean, how can you not see that there's different options to the humans and animals?
How can you not see that we're all the same?
We're not the same. Nothing is the same.
But
there's nothing that's the same.
It's all made out of the same stuff.
But that doesn't make it all the same, because you got billions billions of combinations that make them all different.
But they all break down to the same component.
Yeah, but you can take one component. You can take a rock and you can say this rock is the same as the Empire State Building.
Yes, you can.
But it's not the same.
But
it's one part of the Empire State Building.
But it's made out of the same stuff.
So the cellular systems are all they all have their polarity, all the particles and everything, all the genetic code, all are the same as the things that they make and become. Well, okay, but what's the sense of saying that they're the same, even though we have a ton of reasons to say that they're not the same? They're built from the same materials, but they're not the same result.
Right.
They become something more.
Can I answer your question?
Yeah. They can become a tree that can house the birds. Go ahead.
Your question was? what's the sense of saying that a stone is the same as the Empire State Building? What is the sense in that? That was your question?
Mm-hmm.
The sense is so you can understand the relation between things. That there is a relationship between that stone and the Empire State Building because they are made out of the same thing. We have iron in our body. We are stone. We are iron. We are all of the things that make up our body. We're water. We're air. We're the frequency that our bodies are vibrating at.
But you're not identifying the mind.
That's one thing that I just haven't said yet. I do identify the mind, the soul, the spirit, the energy, the life force inside of us. That life force is in everything that is animate on this planet. Everything that is up breathing has the same life force in it. So we are all the same.
Yeah, but that's too simple. It's too not simple.
It is too simple, and that's the beauty in it. And
So
that's
it's
why
beautiful, but it
we're
doesn't get us
separate.
anywhere.
It does, though.
No,
it
it don't.
gets us back to home.
I'm still gonna dig in the dirt, and I'm
Right.
gonna be actually
And what did you
mashing
just
up
say? What did you just say?
dirt.
You're digging in the dirt, in the earth, for the truth.
No, but to plant a seed,
Not in the air,
to
off
plant
the
a
planet.
a seed is a complex organism
That can only grow
that can become
in
something that
this
all
world.
these other organisms can live in.
Nowhere else except on this planet does life grow like it does here.
You have no idea what's on other planets.
I don't, but I know what we've seen in our,
You mean
solar
through
system.
our insignificant space travel?
I know that we can see that on the 9 planets
I'm being
that
sarcastic.
I know, but on the 9 planets that surround this planet, we can see there is no life like us. There's no lights. There's no people.
Well,
there is no
we
life.
don't know that, though.
But we can see that there are not people walking around on Mars right now.
We don't really know.
Now you're saying, like I say, we don't really know XYZ.
What if there was?
You can look in a telescope and look at the surface of Mars, and
you
there
can
are
only
not
see what
people.
this eye is ready to see.
Right.
That's right. You don't see
So you
more
think
than your.
that there's a whole
that you can-
civilization of humans
not
living
only-
up on Mars?
I'm not saying that's a
Jupiter,
fact.
Saturn,
I'm saying that
Neptune,
it's possible
Pluto,
there could be people
Mercury,
living on
Venus.
or in some of those bodies that we can't see it because they are geared in a different frequency or they're hidden by certain components.
But you do agree that there are not another civilization that we can see with our eyes right now on any of the planets in our solar system. That we can see with our eyes.
Of course not. I never
So
saw any
that's
history
what
of
I'm
that.
basing what I'm saying off of.
Right.
See, guys, this is what Sawyer and I always argue about. What we get down to is he'll say what he just did.
It's good that I'm not that attached to what I say.
You are attached
I am.
to it.
Yes, I am attached to it to some degree, but it's not so much that I can't.
Won't open your
attempt
eyes
to
to
be
think that humans aren't in control of
It's just-
everything else on this planet. You think this earth is for us.
You know, it's
think
like-
this planet was made for humans. You think it's a training ground for humans.
Makes sense to me.
And for me, it does not make sense. There are billions, 100 kabillion ants on this planet. They outnumber us billion to 1, probably.
Numbers is nothing.
I'm just saying.
Numbers is nothing.
I'm just saying there are other things on this planet that are a little bit like really important too. This planet was not made for one species.
Are the ants ever going to
One
supply
individual.
food for a species of
They
a
supply
tribe
food for
of
themselves.
people? No.
Just because they're small,
For the
they're
people.
supplying their own
But
food for their
people
own tribes.
People can make things and grow things that can feed a tribe, a whole bunch of people.
And ants do the
But
same
they
thing.
can't do it for people, though. But people can do it for the ants.
But do we?
Yeah.
Because we
People
want them
provide
to
their decayed
study.
bodies from animals and things to the ant populations to take over and, you know, and
So
devour.
that's your
Well, no, you
reasoning
see that.
for
You know the ants do that.
ants.
They lay their
Do all,
eggs in the
right,
flesh of the, and then they grow,
right.
maggots
So
grow and stuff. And
raccoons provide that as well. Any
right,
organic matter that
right.
is
But that's
decomposing is going to provide that for any. It
so.
doesn't matter if there's people here or not.
But those
People,
ants aren't going to do anything for humans much.
do they
Much.
have to?
No, no, they don't
Do the
have to.
ants
But
need
they're
us
not
to do
evolved enough
anything
to
for
do
them?
things for
But
humans.
why does it have to be they're not evolved
What's
enough?
wrong with evolution? Why do you have to be so down on a progress of life forms?
You're deflecting.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are.
No,
You're
I'm
saying,
trying
well,
to
what's
get to the
wrong with
root.
evolution?
Yeah.
I'm asking you,
You're being contrary to it
No, I'm not.
because it
I'm trying
seems
to
to
get you
be.
to see a point that we are
Well,
not
your
in
point
control of this planet.
is so trivial to me.
That's
The point
demeaning.
is so
That's
trivial.
demeaning to me.
I'm not demeaning you, but the
Yes,
point
you
you're
are.
making is demeaning to me. To think that I'm not getting the point, then that's such an insignificant point, because it has no value to our lives. It has no application to our real life.
I feel that it does.
But it's a minuscule.
So if you can't
Recognition of
see
the
how that's
value of an ant.
demeaning, if you can't see how that's
You can't
demeaning
see
to
that
me,
the
that I'm
vehicle.
saying that an
You can't
ant
say
is
that a human
just as
vehicle is more
important.
valuable than an ant vehicle
No.
to other humans.
I don't care if it's to other humans or to a raccoon or whatever. It's
You know
not
what?
more valuable.
I don't want to convince you of this. I want you to, you know,
All life is
have
the
the.
same, has the same value.
It's not the same. Nothing is the same. See, that's the thing. You can't prove that. You can't even bring any evidence to it, supernatural or otherwise, that
You
everything's the
can't
same.
bring evidence that
Yes,
humans
you can.
are superior.
Humans have
We can't
microscopes
even
and
have
telescopes that can see things that we
So?
couldn't see before.
So?
Yes, they have the choice to be things. See, my whole belief system is that there are creators of all this. This didn't all just happen by accident.
I don't know if it happened by accident or not, and I'm not trying to define
How can you
who
justify an
was.
accident like this Earth?
I just said that I
Yeah.
don't know if it was an accident or not. And I'm not going to say it was this thing or it was this thing or it was this thing or all of these things combined in this crazy new way that's the creation of this planet. I don't know. What I do know is that this planet is here, and I know that it speaks to me. And I know that I've been trying to hear God my entire life. I've been trying to hear all kinds of things my entire life, and they never spoke to me. I have heard things my whole life, but it wasn't the right voices, right? When bugs are talking to you, that's not God.
Why not?
You're crazy, because bugs are insignificant and they're small, trivial little things that have no relation to humans. So why would I want to listen to what they have to say to me? Why would I turn my
real.
head when there's a little jumping spider sitting there? Why did I save that
And what
spider?
value is it?
Why did I save that spider
And what
that was on
value
the
was it to save that
windowsill?
spider?
Because I saved that spider's life. And that spider
But you killed
gets
other
to go.
insects to give that spider life. How cruel of you.
That's the circle of life, though.
I know
Life,
there's a
and that's
circle
what
of
I'm
life.
trying to understand.
Some life
Life
serves
seems to
other
have
life.
to feed other life, right? But that doesn't mean
So why can't animals feed
that
humans?
doesn't mean that spiders are running around
And
saying,
planes.
I control this planet and I am the most important species on this planet.
Maybe the spider
because
thinks
I
that
get
way.
to eat all other things.
Maybe they do think that way. You know,
Maybe they do.
maybe it's just an automatic way of they just are what they are.
And
They're not thinking about.
Are what we are too.
They're not. Yes, and we are what we are. But we know from our own experience that we can have thoughts and do things that we know that spiders don't do. Many things.
Yeah, and they can do a lot of things that we can't.
Billions
Speaking
of
of
things.
spiders,
No, they can do a few things that we can't do.
I disagree. I think that they're doing a lot more than we
But
think.
see, you're measuring everything as equal.
I know, but that's okay. That's the magic of my world. Hold on though, a practical thing. I put that spider right over there, up above the. It's in that paper towel.
Oh, really? Oh, I see it.
Yeah.
All right. Have you checked it recently?
No, but I have a feeling she's probably still in there because it's a nice little home, and I told her not to freaking stay in there.
Well,
But I wanted her to stay by the sink.
I know you know, I actually love Kathy's attention to the insects, but it wouldn't be something I would do. But
Did you see
you know,
that other one that
what
tried
am
to
I going to
crawl?
say? You know about it?
He
It
tried to
is kind
crawl
of
in
fun
here
the way I
to
see her communicating
get
with the
saved.
insects, and they seem to actually respond to her
They
sometimes.
do.
I'm not saying they always do, because sometimes she'll say that he doesn't really want to do that, or what I want, you know, or this one stink bug will wasn't ready to go out, so it didn't want to go on her hand. Well, another one does, and some of the stink bugs, when they go on, they don't stink or they don't put out their stink.
They hardly ever stink.
It's like they don't feel threatened by her because she's so gentle with them, and so she, you know, it's we're talking about yeah, yeah. This is a certain dynamic with us. It's like. I don't get to go to what I wanted to talk about in the stream,
I'm so sorry. I wasn't.
but it's okay. I don't mind it so much, except we go through it, you know, and maybe someone enjoyed it. Not that I'm here for entertainment, but I guess it can be that way. Yeah. So uh,
I'm the sidekick. I went to that video where you said, "Sadly, Kathy has left my stream," and I was looking at all the comments, and people were like, "No, you need a sidekick to bounce off of."
yeah.
That's all right. People can hate me, I guess. Getting a lot of it on my channel.
I don't
Well, I'm
think
not
there's
getting
any.
a lot of
There's
it.
no reason to hate you. Is very primitive or just bad behavior to hate somebody like Kathy or you know for any reason really. I mean, sure you can be upset with her because of the way sometimes where she gets you know
Well, people hated me because I'm
angry
with
about
you.
certain things and
That's why
yeah,
people hated me because I'm
right,
with you.
right, that's right. Kathy did get quite a bit of hate because she was with me. And I got some too because I was in. They told me that I shouldn't have somebody else.
Like that I'm Jezebel and that
Yeah,
you shouldn't like.
right.
Why would you want a
Yeah,
70-year-old man to be with a 47-year-old woman?
yeah, because I get hate.
I mean,
Okay.
now he's 74 and I'm about to be 52, but like, come on, let him get his freaking shit in. What the?
You Jazz says, "Holy smokes."
That's right.
That's right. That's right. It's you know it's anyway. So I believe that the Mississippi River and I could be wrong about this. I'm not trying to say I'm right, but I'm trying to bring the evidence of things that T and O said and did to the subject of the United States being a melting pot in order to provide vehicles for returning souls to advance in their school. Advance by the definition of what the next level has given humans since the beginning of the civilization. That you shouldn't be killing each other is one of them. And there were others there, but I don't want to try to go into the nuances of all the things that that can mean because that was relative, most relative at that time. Um, that lesson program in order to prepare those souls in those vehicles at the time to be able to receive the higher lesson that Jesus brought, which included abiding by the old lessons that Moses was the instrument of. Okay, so so Jesus brought the updates to Moses, and that's why the ones that had made their fame and fortune in one way or another, spiritual or material, on the Moses material, information, experience, they uh, um, they weren't vehicles that were able at that time, or some of them were probably, but those ones that were wouldn't have found themselves in a position of condemning Jesus and his followers. And so the ones that weren't capable of seeing the value of what Jesus and his followers were talking about and went against them and sought to murder them and get rid of them, stop them from talking, are the same ones that are uh, now, uh, some of them, or many of them, are in the leadership of that claim that they're Christians, and they're not demonstrating Christian or Jesus's behaviors and ways, except in some, theoretical ways. In other words, they don't think that it's applicable to the way that they've got to run the government. They feel they've got to run the government. In other words, they think that the only way to find criminals is to, go break down the doors of the ones that are in this country illegally. Of course, there's all kinds of criminals that are in this country legally, but they're not really going after them unless they do a crime. But the ones that are not here with the paperwork, of really no fault of their own in some cases, but in some cases they're probably terrible people. Okay, but they do a blanket way of doing things. Yeah, so they do things in a blanket authoritarian way, and they fight fire with fire. So if they've got people trying to challenge them, and carrying a weapon is a challenge to them, you can understand why, because you don't know that that person's not going to pull it out and shoot you with it.
They took it from
I wonder if it really did have bullets in it. I wondered if there were no bullets in it.
Well,
Because if I
like
was really a peace activist, I wouldn't go to a rally like that with a loaded gun on my shoulder,
like
on my side.
so like one of the points that I saw somebody make, which I thought was really good, because like we're not gun holders, like we don't think about guns, but like this woman said that her and her adult son, they live together, whatever, he was like in his 30s or something, um, that they have their gun on them all the time.
I've
That
heard that.
it's literally like it's at the front door. You got your holster, you got your keys. It's your protection.
So he was a person like that?
I don't know. I'm not saying.
Oh.
But like that was her point, because somebody was saying, well, like you don't carry a gun unless you're going to do something. But if you're carrying it for protection and it's your part, like as a woman, like a lot of women, and I used to as well, I would have like, remember I had a knife in the door.
Yeah.
I had like a knife in the door.
Sure.
I had scissors. Like I don't carry that stuff anymore.
I carried a knife when I was hitchhiking.
Right, but like I used, like you just bring stuff with you, and I guess like when you are a concealed carry permit person, like you want to have. So he was a nurse, and I don't know if he carried. Pretty sure you can't have your weapon on you while you're working, but he probably carried it like going to and from work. I don't know if he walked or what, but
Well, probably. I don't know.
like if you want to have a gun,
I don't know why he would do
Second
that.
Amendment rights, well, because some people walk to work. You used to walk to work. Like if you live like 5 blocks from your work,
I
maybe
guess
you
if
want to
you're in a
walk.
community that is so dangerous and you're having to be there,
Well, maybe if like ICE is coming into your, for like the past 3 months, and they're like pushing
was he
people
from
down.
Minneapolis area?
Yes, he was an ICU nurse at the VA clinic
Uh-huh.
there, at the VA hospital.
Yeah.
Like he was like,
I don't know why he had a gun.
I'm telling
You're saying it was normal for him
yes, he
to have it all the
to.
time.
Yes, that's what people who
But why
carry
wouldn't you
guns
think
do.
twice about bringing it to
He was
a
not
violent
bringing
protest?
It was not a violent protest. That's another thing people do not understand.
Some of them are,
This was not.
right?
This was not. ICE was coming down the street, and in Minneapolis they have a neighborhood watch program. And when ICE comes down the street, everybody comes out of their houses and they start blowing their whistles. ICE is here. They're here. Don't open your doors if you're brown because they'll snatch your ass up. They're coming down our street. So everybody comes out of the street. That's what this man did. He came out of his house to witness and watch what ICE is doing in their neighborhood, on their street, to their neighbors.
I still wouldn't bring a gun with me to that.
If you had a concealed carry permit and before you ever walked outside the door, listen, every single day, and you put that gun on, that is what you do. You put your shoes on.
I wouldn't do that.
We don't have guns.
I know, but I wouldn't do that if I had a gun.
That is what people do that have guns. You don't have a gun to keep it at home when you're feeling unsafe.
I don't see that many people with guns that are like you can see.
Look around.
Maybe I'm not aware of it.
You're not, because almost everybody here is fucking carrying.
Really?
Go into the grocery store and look around. In Arizona, everybody's got a gun on their hip, and they're scary white people. They're like crazy white dudes looking like they're all hopped up on steroids, like, I'm going to protect you in the store with my gun on my hip. It's like,
yeah.
Could you get the away from me, sir? Like, why
but
are you carrying
after Renee Good was shot to death, murdered by that ICE guy, would I then bring a gun to a rally?
Or would that for protection? It was not a rally. That's what I'm telling you.
But why do you need to have that protection unless you're?
Because they're killing us in the streets.
Well, then don't go into the streets.
Why you're okay? So let them take everybody. Let them take all of our neighbors. Just let them take them, just like they did to the Jewish people in Germany. Let's just stay in our houses and not go out and say something.
Well,
Minneapolis is fucking hardcore.
So you're saying that
I am going to walk outside when they come in my fucking neighborhood. If they come in the campground and they start rounding people up, I'm going to go out there with my phone and I'm going to record them. I'm going to start live streaming it.
That's fine. That's good.
We all need to do that.
I might do that too.
Every single person in the United States needs to do that.
I might do that too, but I'm not going to bring a gun.
We should not be killed for it, even if we bring a gun.
But maybe I should.
Our Second Amendment rights.
Maybe I should stimulate that.
That's what these people have been fighting for decades. We can have guns. That kids can get shot in school because we need our guns. You can have a gun, and now it's like you can't have guns. But wait a minute, you've been saying you wanted guns all these times. It didn't matter that literally thousands of children in this country have been murdered by guns.
They're starting to cooperate.
And now,
one
liberal woke guy brings a gun to a protest after Kyle Rittenhouse walked through the streets.
Yeah, that was terrible.
With multiple guns, and they let him out. He has a picture
not the same thing
next to Trump. The other guy with a gun that had a permit.
It is kind of the same thing.
He got shot dead in the back 10 times.
That's right.
After they took it off of him.
I know.
Like, we need to wake the fuck up.
I am woken up to it.
But don't.
You think that you got to yell like this in order to wake me up and wake people up? You think you're rallying the troops to be, I'm not belittling you, but
to protest.
You start raging like this, and so you won't give me a chance to actually say what I want to say about it. You think right away I'm wrong, and I'm taking the sides of the enemy.
It's like, it's not a big deal. This is not Nazi Germany. Like, yes, it is.
I don't know that it's Nazi Germany.
It is.
They were saying that this was Nazi the first time that guy got elected.
It took him this to get his cabinet and the Supreme Court, and look what they're doing.
But it wasn't Nazi Germany before that, right?
He's done.
Nobody else was demonstrating Nazi behavior, was it?
Yes, and people have been calling him out.
And what about other communists?
Been saying, "Oh, you stupid woke liberals, you dumbass woke progressives, you stupid woke liberals." Now look where we are. Our government is killing us in the streets, and people are defending it and saying, oh, he had a gun, so he got deserved to be held down and shot in the back 10 times.
I'm not saying that.
I'm not saying you are, but the people that were saying we get to have our guns, now they're saying, oh, wait,
I
no,
know.
wait. The exact reason
Yeah,
why
a lot
they
of
said
them
they
are the
wanted
ones
their
that killed
guns,
Jesus, the ancestors. I mean, they're
and
the
that's
descendants,
when you go back to
in my
2,000
opinion.
years
Well,
ago,
actually, T and
when
Do
you
talked
go
about
back
it.
to 2,000 years ago, it kind of takes away from the urgency of today.
No, it doesn't.
Yes, it does.
No, we need to understand history. History is valuable.
We're living in it right now.
I know we're living in it,
So
but what are we going to do about it? You know.
That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go outside. We're gonna film them.
So let's go outside and tell everybody in the camp.
Come to our neighborhood. That's what people need to do.
Okay, so we'll wait to that happening.
You have a platform.
Okay,
since I have a platform.
Right.
They're going to Springfield, Ohio. They're going to Springfield, Ohio next.
All right.
Cincinnati's not that far.
All right. So you want to go to Springfield so you can be in their face?
That's why we're not going to Cincinnati, so I'm not going to be in their face because I won't be able to stop. Because I can't watch them taking away people.
Yeah, I understand.
And I don't want anybody else to watch it either. We need to watch it and film it and show the world like Minneapolis is doing. We need to stand up.
And I've been watching. I watch those videos every day. I watch all kinds of video footage.
About it. We do need to be angry because we haven't been. It's gotten this bad.
You know, I have been angry.
Yes.
And I've protested, and it didn't do anything.
But this time it is.
Why?
They left. They're leaving Minneapolis. They're leaving. It worked.
Good.
So that's the model. That's what we need to do everywhere else. They're waiting for us to start shooting them.
So then it's not
so we do not do
the Hitler thing. Because they're leaving. They're not going to bring more force to it.
Because they're seeing that it's not working.
Right.
That the majority of the American public does not want that.
Right.
But now they're going to go to Springfield, Ohio, where people do want that. People do want that.
Well, they also went to, let's see, was it Atlanta?
And
no,
wanted it there too. And
but
people wanted it there too.
One thing that happened with some of the other places that they went, one of the things that happened at the other places that they went is they got cooperation from the leaders of those communities so that they didn't end up having,
oh, that's great. So they just sold out all of their people. That's wonderful.
I don't know if the people that they're finding.
Yeah, where are all those
Some
people?
of them are,
Where are all those people? You know all those people that they sent to El Salvador, that prison? They're all out of there, and none of them had records. They're all released now.
They are released?
Yeah. Why?
So if it was Hitler, we wouldn't even know about that. We wouldn't even know that there was anybody released
keep saying that.
From jail.
Let's wait for another year. You know what somebody said in my chat today?
Does it have to be exactly like that for you to think that it's serious? Does it have to be that to be serious?
It has to be the government is killing us in the streets. And half of us are saying no.
And they're killing us with COVID?
Yes. I don't care. That was in 2020.
Yeah, well, it's pretty darn important. Millions of people died from their fake medicine.
That was the past.
Yeah.
We cannot bring those people back. We can save the people now that they're going to kill.
People don't even want to be saved. They want to go along with what the government says.
Right, and all those people are going to have whatever they're going to have.
And if you want to fight fire with fire, then you're going to die by it because of fire.
I said peaceful protest. I didn't say fire with fire. So stop twisting what I'm saying.
So the people that are actually doing physical things to try to keep people
in the way. That's it. Is it physical to just stand in front of somebody and say no, and I'm recording you? And then they push you down? You're not supposed to push protesters down for protesting peacefully.
That's in a peaceful world. where you have rules
We did have rules
of
in the
behavior,
physical world.
and
We did have that. We did have that just a few 12 months ago. We did have that. We don't have
not really,
that now.
because if you
We
go
didn't have that.
if
We
you
had
go to
high
a police
school
officer that's apprehending somebody on the side of the road, and you go by that police officer, and
They
you
will
go in
allow
there and you
you
get
to
in the way of
report
that
them.
police officer apprehending somebody on the side of the road, then
They
you
allow
will
you-
be treated
They
as
allow
somebody
you
that's a
to-
criminal.
They allow you to record them.
Yeah,
People have
some of
done
them
it.
will, and some of them
People
will. Some of them might pop you for it.
They don't shoot people for
There have been people shot for that. I've seen the video of it.
people recording. I've seen people
Yes.
arrested.
Yes, I
I've
saw
seen
this
people have
guy.
their phones
I saw this
confiscated.
old guy get out of a truck, and he was told to stay in the truck. And and the officer went back to check his record and stuff in the car, and he got out of the truck and he went towards the back of his truck, and the officer got out of the car and shot him because he thought he was going for a weapon because there was a rifle in the back of the truck.
That was not somebody putting themselves in the way. That wasn't somebody.
And that was a white guy.
That wasn't somebody stopping and reporting the police for doing their job. That guy didn't get shot because he was trying to record the police doing their job. He got shot for being fucking suspicious.
Right.
Like, don't go to the back of your car after they told you to stay put. He was probably drunk or on something.
Yeah, I agree. Please don't interfere.
I'm not telling people to do that, but go ahead and stand back and just watch them like they did in Nazi Germany.
Well, I don't feel like I'm doing that. You got to pick your battles. You know, you can't just take imaginary battles.
It's not.
Well, it's a battle for somebody, yes, but it's not the battle for everybody all at the same time. Well, you know what? Then I'm going to die. What the hell? I'm going to die one way or the other. So if that's the way that it's going to happen, I guess that's the way it's going to happen. Well, I'm not going to, be able to, if it's going to go to that degree, maybe it'll be nuked. We'll all be nuked before that.
It's not an interference to report law enforcement.
I'm not saying it is.
I'm just saying, for anybody saying like.
But it is antagonistic to them.
Interfere with law enforcement or whatever.
But I think it's good that they're held responsible. I think it's good.
What people have been doing in Minneapolis is standing there and recording them, and they're getting pushed down to the pavement for just literally standing on the sidewalk out of the way. They're not even impeding the flow of traffic.
They are changing in that regard.
But they weren't.
I know, but
if people hadn't got out and done what they did, they'd still be doing what they're doing.
Right. So, in other words, they are capable of changing. They're not going to.
They're being forced to.
That's good, though.
Right. And in Nazi Germany,
they
weren't forced to.
Everybody
said.
Right. That's why it's not the same. That's why it's not the same.
Be the same.
No, it's not will be the same. You don't know that it will be the same. You can't make a statement like that and have any intelligence with it. Because you don't know what the future brings. So nobody knows what the future is going to bring. No, I'm saying it's not an intelligent decision to forecast what the future is going to be. No, I'm saying it's not a thought out decision. No, you're not stupid. It's not the same thing as stupid. It's not wanting to look at the immediacy of the issue relative to what we know. We do not know what's going to happen in the future. Do you? Can you say with any seriousness you know that you're not going to die from a heart attack tomorrow? You say that you're not going to die from a heart attack tomorrow. You don't know that, right?
No, I don't.
So you don't know that it's going to be the same exact way as Nazi Germany, and we are going to be taken into the concentration camps and being given gas to kill us. Maybe they'll drop a bomb on us instead.
I didn't say that they were going to take us into concentration camps and gas us. So
not that far. Only as far as taken and starved in the camps. We're going to be starved in the camps. I didn't
say that either.
So we're only going to be taken
I didn't
someplace.
Say whatever you're going to say. what is happening right now is people are being taken.
And what happens to them?
We don't know.
You told me today that some were taken
Some
and then
have been
released.
and they've been saying their stories and what happened to them in that El Salvadorian prison.
Which wouldn't happen in a true Hitler-like dictatorial location. You wouldn't hear about it.
So
you didn't hear about the Jews that were getting on the trains.
Right, so, but yes, you did.
Well, maybe you
Everybody
did.
heard about it.
Okay.
But your disqualification is just because it happened this way in Nazi Germany and it's not happening exactly that same way now means it's not Nazi Germany. That's exactly my argument. It's different now.
See,
but it is the same.
But you seem to be
getting rid of brown people. They're subhumanizing Democrats. All Democrats are demon rats.
I know there's people that think that way.
You think that way. Whenever you and I get in an argument, oh, well, you're the Democrat. The Democrats have been doing this. The left this. Blah, blah, blah.
Because they were doing their share.
So here you go.
Just like the Bush administration was doing his share of this evil.
It's all evil system. It all needs to be broken down. And that's what's happening right now.
Well, that's not our job. We can't break it down. You think we're going to have a revolutionary war? Is that what you want?
No.
To where you're going to start over?
Doing that. You jump to like, did I say we were going to have a revolutionary war? Did I say we were going to be gassing people in concentration camps and starving them? I didn't say any of those things.
Well, that's the implications.
No, it's not.
Oh.
That's what you're projecting from it. That's what you're reading.
You know,
what I'm saying.
If
I read to a lot of what you say too.
If I didn't hear all this Hitler talk for years, quiet, please. If I didn't hear all the Hitler talk from all the major media stations saying the same kind of things over and over again on the media, on every day, throughout the media, and I've seen the clips of it, in order to get people against Trump that weren't against Trump, saying that he was going to be that, if I didn't see that happening with my own eyes over months and months and months before the last election,
now you won't. Because
then that's right.
So now you won't.
No, this doesn't mean that I won't believe it. It means that when I hear that from somebody, I think that they've accepted that program.
And so you won't actually look
as going in that direction.
But you won't look at what's actually happening.
Yes, I can.
But you're not.
And to some degree, that's happening.
Everybody's programmed and thinking that he's Hitler or something. You're not actually looking at what they're rounding up people door to door.
I still haven't seen any evidence of that.
Have you looked for
the implication of the door-to-door part?
Have you?
No, I know. Okay. I want you to provide me with the footage of that.
Why can't you get your ass on Google?
I haven't had fucking time to do it.
Okay, so don't say it's up to me to provide you.
Well, if you're making these claims,
like it's not out there.
Then send me the links.
Because you haven't seen it, it doesn't exist.
Send me the links so I can be informed. I want to be informed.
People that are brown and saying, "Where are you from?" Now tell me.
So they have checkpoints?
No, they are just stopping people randomly. They're driving around in their cars, and if they see you, they're actually targeting Uber drivers. Because a lot of immigrants are Uber drivers. So they're targeting them. They see you in your car, you're black, you're brown, you're getting pulled over by ICE. Where are your papers? That is not this country. That does not happen here.
Yes, it does.
But it doesn't. And it is now.
It does in other ways.
It wasn't happening before.
It was more subtle before. It wasn't in the press all the time.
You saying that belittles.
No, it doesn't belittle it.
Yes, it does.
It just shows you exactly what's been happening for a long time. That's right. That's right.
It's not. There are 22,000 more ICE agents now. There were not before. They have $79 billion. That's more than like 5 different departments.
I hope this is good radio for you all. I've been through this with Kathy so many times, and it's like we can't see eye to eye on this.
We just gotta stop.
No, it's terribly um it's depleting of
You
energy,
say
and
you're open-minded. See,
I'm not open-minded. I'm not open-minded anymore. Let's just leave it that way, because I don't want to be open-minded if it's going to mean believing everything you know that
it's not believing everything.
that I'm told, everything I see in the press, believing everything they tell you.
No, did I say that?
Well, that's what I see happening.
But you can't. I believe.
I see that on the right and I see that on the left.
But is that
Both
what you and I are
both
talking
sides
about?
have their narrow-mindedness, in my opinion.
But is that what you and I are talking about right now?
Some of it, some degrees of that.
Anyway, you're right. You didn't want to talk about the Mississippi, and I didn't want to talk at all. Are you mad at me?
No, but you better not have me in the car during your live stream, or I'm going to be talking. No, I'm not. I won't do that. I won't do that to you because it's not my stream. And
But you will admit that you have encouraged me multiple times to talk on your stream.
I still want to encourage you to talk on my stream.
I didn't want to talk because my.
But I mean,
I know.
you know, it's I don't find
We're slowly chipping
a lot of
away.
common ground, I guess.
Not on that respect, we don't.
No.
We're trying to. That's
Well,
why we keep going at it.
you know,
As we're trying.
you can claim that I'm stuck in my ways, but I have changed.
I just want you to
some,
just think about that, all like an insect is the same as a person.
I do. I marched against the Iraq War. I marched against the Vietnam War.
No,
Heavens to Betsy, I can't stand what's going on with those wars and everything that's happened. I spoke against COVID till I was blue in the face, and I was actually...
Over that, I just said, can you see that an insect has the same value as human life? Not anything else about what we were discussing.
Relative to what?
I just want you to think about that over the next couple of days.
Relative to what?
A human.
If a mosquito comes in and is going to bite me, yes. I'm going to swat it. So it doesn't, I'm not going to do that to a human. If a human comes over to me, and sticks me with a needle, I'm going to swat them away. I'm going to hit them with my, to try to get them to stop doing that.
Babe, I'm just trying to get
and if that hitting them ends up...
See it. That's why I keep saying you're not open-minded.
They're not the same. They're not the same. An insect's not the same as a human. I don't know why you can't see that.
I'm saying the life is the same.
The life isn't the same. An insect has a different structure, different body, different options, different choices. It breathes in a different way.
It's still breathing the same air
that doesn't make it the same as as the lion. It doesn't make it the same as the lion. It just breathes, okay? But all the cells, are all the cells the same? Or some of the cells have different functions? Don't different cells have different functions? You don't... See, I got to the point to where I got you.
You did not get me. My voice fucking hurts, and I want to stop.
I didn't tell you to keep on bringing this up. Every time I say something, you've got something to say about it.
But now don't say because I need to stop.
And then when I respond, you think that I'm the one that's creating this mess.
Don't say that you're winning or you got me because I literally cannot talk anymore. Because you didn't. I just can't fucking talk anymore.
And here we are with him threatening to use an insurrection act. Right. It's, yeah, he's a jerk. I agree. But you wouldn't have some people thinking that way about me. Even though I've talked about it on my Facebook page, I still hear...
Talking about Trump. He's saying that Trump has threatened to do the Insurrection Act.
I know what he's talking about. You don't have to tell me what he's talking about. You think I'm so stupid.
No, I don't think you're so stupid.
I know what he's talking
I
about.
understand why you were acting like, is he talking about you were saying an insurrection?
I'm talking about the people that hear me talking about, if I say anything about Trump that has any kind of resemblance of something that you would think of was positive, then automatically I'm now a Trump believer. I'm a MAGA person.
There's nothing positive to say about that person.
I'm talking about when he would say something about before he was elected that all children shouldn't receive all the hundreds of vaccinations that they receive in the first 10 years of life. When he said that, it made sense to me. That he wasn't like the rest of the ones that were saying that you have to get all these injections. You're forced to get those injections.
My daughter did not have hundreds of vaccinations the first 10 years of her life.
But they've grown
and she was born
since then.
In 2004.
Look up the list of how many vaccinations are required by law.
I know what they were.
Well, there's a list, and it's in the 60s, I think, now. It's kept on getting bigger and bigger. The list, the numbers.
I was wondering.
Quick,
Sorry, use this.
I don't know for what.
It's a mount for the phone.
Isn't that the one that's $30? I'd rather have the money, I guess. Unless you have a use for it. All right, then just keep it. Just keep it. It's water under the bridge at this point. Yeah. So, if we don't stand, who will? Well, what does standing look like, I guess? What does standing look like? So people choose their stand. And who they want to make a stand with and against. And who they want to, don't want to make a stand with or against. And when. And how. Those are all the choices we have. And for somebody to judge somebody else as making the wrong choices in that regard is not their business. I can make the choices I want to make and live with them. And I'm not going to be pressured into those choices by somebody else. I don't care if they're left or right or in between or even my partner Kathy. If she wants me to stand, for against this, well, maybe I'll do it. We'll see how it goes. But ultimately, I don't. I'm not going to really go. I'm not going to be in that situation. But if I am, then I am, and then I'll deal with it when I get to that situation. And it's not that I don't support the people that are standing up against ICE. In my mind, I think some of them are being heroic. I think they're being beautiful people. Okay, but not all. Some of them I think are terrible people. And are just angry and they want to take their anger out on other people. And they're looking for ways to do that. And this is a convenient way of doing it. But some of them are genuine. I know that. And I think that's wonderful. Unfortunately, on both sides, what? That some are not wonderful?
That are protesting for any kind of reason to get their jollies off or something, like that they're not protesting to stop what ICE is doing. And I just feel that that's very offensive for you to say that it's not like it's not like a protest where they're looting and they're breaking into stores and doing that kind of thing. They're not actually protesting like that. They're going out when ICE is coming down their streets. They're coming out of their doors. It's not organized. It's
I
when
just
ICE
I just
comes through
watched
their
some footage
neighborhood.
that I believe was real footage. I have no reason to think it was fabricated. Uh, um, that showed James O'Keefe. Did you see his videos yet?
I don't know.
Okay, he's
At least just by name, I might.
he went undercover as press, and he actually was.
Is he a
For,
right-wing agitator?
he might be. He might be
like
somewhat.
the guy that went to the Somalian daycares and said they're not letting me in, so they're doing millions of dollars in fraud?
I don't know if
Because
he's like that.
daycares don't let strange men in their doors.
Again, I can't say, but I can't describe anything. You're already judging it. And they were saying words against them of that they should be killed
That
because
he should be killed.
O'Keefe and his cameraman,
Who was saying that?
the protesters that he was filming with
Where was he filming at?
in Minneapolis
When?
a couple days ago, 27th. No, yeah, maybe it was the 27th. Maybe
Today's the 28th.
it was 25th, or I don't know, something like that. It was recently.
So what was the context? Like, what was he doing? Like, why would people around him saying you should be killed and your cameraman should be killed?
Because they found out that he was, I guess, maybe he was right wing leaning.
Like that?
Maybe he was.
Like,
Maybe he was. Yeah.
so then, like, that's the media.
So
that's
then
the propaganda.
So then they say that he should be killed, and they threw a brick at him and hit the guy in the head. Not by saying anything.
Did you see before they got to that point? Like, he's
Yeah.
just walking around, and all of a sudden people are like, you should be killed. And
No, he had press written on his vest. And they were trying to find out what kind of press he was. And they wanted to see his press card.
Yeah, because he was a fake.
No, he had a press card.
That he just printed out.
Probably.
Right.
But he's got an organization.
He was lying. He was presenting himself.
He's got an organization. He's got an organization that's as good as any press. Well, I don't know if it is or not.
He's a licensed journalist.
I know, licensed journalist.
To wear a press badge, you actually have to have credentials. Just like to be a police officer.
Right.
You can't walk around with things on your back saying
so
police.
if you go into those areas with a press badge that is Fox News, how will you be treated if you from a person that's got CNN on there? How will you be treated by the people?
Each other, the press.
No, how will you be treated by the people that you're reporting about?
Watch the Fox News that's there on the ground and see how people are. But I'm just saying, watch it because they are there reporting on it.
Oh, that's good.
So watch it. Because I don't know how they're treating them.
Well, I haven't seen that footage yet. I want to see it.
Fox is there reporting on it.
Okay. Well, good.
All of them there are there reporting. It's money. They're the ones that are stirring all this shit up anyway.
They're the ones?
Paid. Well, we've just been talking about how the media is just basically propaganda pieces.
Yeah, that's right. I've seen it for a long time, and it's still happening.
Right-wing journalists.
And left-wing journalists.
Left-wing journalists.
That's right.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
That's right.
They're all part of the propaganda machine. You and I, are not.
No.
We're normal people.
That's right.
And other people that are reacting, we're reacting, are normal
See, we do agree on a lot of things. I don't know why you think that you got to prove to me. It's not normal. I never said it was normal.
Downgrade it and say, well, this has happened in this way, and so it's not happening like now.
Doesn't automatically mean it's going to happen in that same way that it happened before.
Anyway, I really need to stop talking.
Well, then I should stop the stream because...
Yeah, because you keep saying crazy shit, and I can't just let you keep saying, like, all this, like...
Why can't I? I can say crazy shit. You can say crazy shit on your stream.
It's true. I just hear, like, a lot of conspiratorial stuff.
There is a lot of conspiratorial stuff.
But some of the stuff that it's like it's not based in fact. Like there aren't hundreds of vaccines that you have to get. Like it is simple. Like look it up. You tell me to look it up. I know because
You
I
want me to
lived
look
it.
it up?
I lived it.
You
My
want me to
kid
look
was
it up?
born in 2004 and she had to get less than like 30 over
I
the whole
know.
course of her life.
I know.
So that's not hundreds.
Okay, so it's not hundreds.
So you
It's
say
30.
hundreds, like it makes it sound like
Well, maybe I did
it's not.
exaggerate that. Maybe I did exaggerate that. So I should be more specific and check my facts before I say things like that. So let me look it up.
They may be recommended to have hundreds, but they're not required. And you yourself know they're not required because you didn't vaccinate your child. And so she was able to go to school. They want our kids in school so they can indoctrinate them. It's probably not a quick Google search, though, to be fair. Like, there's probably all kinds of crazy data. You know, if you live in some region, you got to have this many, and if you live in another, you got to have this. And I don't know. Okay. Well, you guys got a little slice of our real life. We got to do something with this whole thing. Baby. Or do you want to do the stream still?
Uh,
Or look that up?
I wanted to look up this one thing.
Okay, but I'm so sorry, you guys, that I can't keep my mouth shut. Oh, you know what? It might not be easy to find because they're changing it.
Yeah, it's they're overhauling the childhood vaccine schedule. I just know
So, like, that is
it's a
part,
bunch.
that's like part of propaganda too. Like, you can't even see. Anyway,
There are people talking about it, so I just yeah,
mm. Oh, that's weird. It says the CDC recommends that children receive approximately 30 injections from birth through age 18.
it's
But I
30,
was
but how many doses of those
but I was
injections?
just guessing by 30. It says it may involve up to 72 total doses.
Okay, that's good information. That sounds more like what I was actually thinking. I shouldn't have said hundreds.
Well, but that says like they tacked on other things though. So it says this schedule, which includes annual flu shots and COVID vaccinations, may involve up to 72 total vaccine doses by age 18.
Okay,
So like Maya never got a flu shot, she never got a COVID shot.
right.
So
Because she
that
didn't go to doctors on a regular basis.
well, you can get a flu. Yes, she did. She went to the doctor up until like all I did all the stuff. She went to the
What age?
doctor all up until she went to the doctor up until she was I don't know, all the time.
For
Like she went
years?
yes, for years, multiple years. Like I took her to all of
And
her
they never wanted to
annual
give you,
well visits
more
and
shots to her?
I don't. She got
Because they
all the
always wanted to
shots
give shots to Leora every time I took her to the
because
doctor.
you never got her shots.
I know.
So that's why they always wanted to give her shots because you never got her shot. So
Right.
no, they never. After she got her vaccines, they did not say, "Hey, let's shoot her up with other stuff." No, she got her vaccines, and then that was
But
it.
that's your experience then. But now you're seeing that they're
No,
talking about having
now it's the
72
same thing,
till you're
except
18.
for they've added COVID-19 and annual flu shots.
Right.
So Maya never got one flu shot from age 1 to 18. So that would take out 18 of those because that's one dose a year that you get for your annual flu shot.
All right.
So it may be up to 72. So it's not closer to like, oh yeah, that's almost 100. My point in that is that's a conspiracy theory. That's why RFK Jr. is in the position he's in right now because
Uh-huh.
people believe that.
Well, he's got a lot of
Don't
science on his background.
anyway. Go to your
Because
chat
I
and
used to
finish
follow
and do
his
your stream.
children's health
Yeah,
defense
I know, and
on
he
a regular
also he
basis.
also decided to take his kids into a runoff sewage thing, creek, and think that's okay. And maybe they're fine about it, but like there are
How do
you
you
can
know
test
that
because
that
you
was?
test the water. They test the water. It's not made up.
So maybe he didn't know it was
Yes,
sewage.
he did. He's the freaking like medical guy of the whole country now, and it's a known runoff sewage in Washington D.C. Nobody swims there. There are signs saying "Do not swim here," and he decided to make a point that you can go ahead and swim in this, and I'm going to take my grandchildren into it to make a point.
All right. So
So
uh,
use your
so therefore
grandchildren,
everything he
use
does
your
is
grandchildren as
wrong.
fodder.
Then
I'm
everything
just
is wrong.
saying
And what happened to them?
that's not what I'm
Did they live
saying.
through it?
Yeah, they did.
All right. So what's the big deal then?
The big deal
Why
is
use that
other
against him?
people because he's saying that vaccines, do this and they do that and it's bad and there's hundreds of that's just simply not true. Just like it's simply not true that
Okay, the
it's
hundreds part
healthy.
I got wrong. Okay,
But
I'll
it's
concede
not
that.
true that you should it's be safe to swim in E. coli and sewage infested water.
Well, there's a certain amount that's legal
Right, but should
of
you go
that
swim in it?
because the animals
Would you
also
take
poop in
your
those
I know, but
materials.
would you go take your kids where you know that is sewage runoff? Like
I
that
don't
is a
know. I
known
don't know the
place.
circumstances. See, you act like all these things are factual.
They
Each step of
are.
the way,
It
each
is
part
a
of it.
fact.
I don't know. I haven't heard him talk about that event.
I showed you the pictures from it.
Pictures.
Yes.
What
And he did talk about it. And he
did
laughed about it.
you laughed about it? Why? I don't think he's a stupid guy. You think he was subjecting his grandkids to something that he think would kill them?
I think you need to deal with your stream.
All right, folks. Um, whoops. I I messed up my screen. So at least I'll leave it in the correct format. Maybe this was more valuable than what I was going to talk about. But
You talked about the Mississippi stuff.
yeah, there was more to it though that
Well,
I
then
wanted to
tell me
get to.
about it.
No, it's
You
too
still
late for
got.
that.
No, it's not. It's
It's
only midnight.
well,
You don't go to sleep
I
until
I
3.
lost whatever steam I had. I just don't have the energy for it right now. So let's see if there's something else in the chat happening. I will go to that. Take out flu shot and COVID and you are down half that number of vaccines. RFK is really loony. So is Biden, but Biden isn't advising my health care. Yeah, well, I don't think
I
RFK
agree.
is loony.
Biden is loony too. They're all freaking
I
nuts.
agree that, but I don't agree that RFK is as loony as that he's being made to be
I
by
will
people.
agree with that. I will agree with that.
You know, he's affecting people that those huge budgets that those pharmaceutical companies have.
But he's not now. He's not affecting them at all. He's a puppet too.
You know, he is affecting them by getting
He's
rid of,
not.
by changing this vaccine schedule. That's affecting them.
They're not though. They're not gonna.
Maybe you're right.
It's
Maybe
all
they'll
money.
find other ways to make their
You know,
money.
money. It's all money. They make a big show and they don't change anything.
Well, I don't. I have a little bit of an optimism that
I
thinks
know.
that things can change.
I had an optimism about Trump too,
I did
and
too, but it
you know,
didn't.
like that quickly was dispelled because he
Well,
is
to
who
me,
he
the
is.
times are the times, and it was a matter of time when it was going to go in this direction. More, more and more, because it's been going in this direction for 20 years in a big way, in a huge way, with the stolen election in 2000, and then the 9/11 events, and then the
But you
financial.
conspiracy theories
There's no
now.
conspiracy theories. 5 million people lost their homes in 20 or during that 20,
Will you
2007 and
just go
8
through your
and
chat,
9
please?
and
Will you
10.
go through your chat instead of running through a
No, I
bunch
don't
of
want to go through my
conspiracy
chat. I want to
theories?
do this. Why don't you go to bed if you don't want to sit here and listen to it? Got to interfere with everything I say? Good night, old school Dave, and everybody else. Good night for you all.